Hello, hello. Welcome to Verbling. I'm Teacher Oakley, and once again at this time, at this particular hour, we're going to be looking at collocations, a little vocabulary exercise, looking at common phrases, words that normally go together, such as adjectives and nouns that are commonly spoken together in phrases. Verbs and object nouns, verbs and prepositions, and entire phrases that we use when we speak conversational English. Today's focus will be collocations which are related to business and the business world. So put on your suit and tie, people, because here we go. We're going to talk a little business today. We're going to read an interview, do a little other reading, and talk about these terminologies, these phrases, and maybe by the end of the class, if we can get through the material, we'll quiz ourselves in order to check our understanding. Okay, let's get started. First, I want to greet students to the class, do a little microphone check. Hello, Heidi. How are you?
Hello, nice to see you again.
Nice to see you as well. Welcome to the class. Hello, Anna. Hi. Hi, Anna. Are you there?
Hi there, teacher. Good morning, sorry. How are you?
Okay. I'm good. A little hot. It's a hot day here, but
Yes.
other than that, I'm okay.
Okay, thank you. Nice to see you.
Thank you. Also, I'd like to welcome Yaroslav.
Hi, Oakley. Really nice to see you. How are you?
I'm well, thank you very much. And welcome to the class. And also, hello to Sasha. Hey, Sasha.
Hi. Hello.
Hello. Okay, for viewers out there, plenty of room in the class. Come on in and join us. You can join us anytime. That would be great. No worries. All right, let's get started. I'm going to do a screen share, and we're going to look at an interview with a businessman and talk about the terminologies that come up in this interview. Okay, as soon as I welcome Van to the class, that is, hello, Van.
Hi, how are you? Yeah.
I'm fine. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm great. Thank you.
Terrific. Okay, we're going to start now with a screen share, an interview, interviewing someone about starting a business or going into business. So a lot of terminology is related. The first one is very obvious. When did you first go into business? Okay. I want to read the interviewer parts because I want to. All right. You go into business means you start a business. You first go into business. Our company went into business in 1994. Okay, these phrases are referring to, obviously, when you started. A more formal word, by the way, since I've started, is you just like schools and other such a city, a business, a school can be founded. So you might say it was founded in 1902, for example. It can be. You're also much more formally can talk about when a business or such or any kind of institution, I guess, was founded. Okay, Heidi, can you read the first sentence? I guess we'll go sentence by sentence.
Okay.
Up to thing. Okay.
Okay. You are interviewer.
Yeah. When did you? Sorry, I'll do my interviewer part again. So you can get in the mood. When did you first go into business? Heidi.
I set up a small business selling office supplies in 1989. Filing systems, office equipment, that sort of thing.
Okay, so Heidi, you have set up a business before, right?
Yes.
Okay. It's a lot of work, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, what goes into setting up a business? What kinds of things?
A
What do
small
we?
business.
Yeah.
Opening my shop.
Yeah. So what do you have to do? You have to get permits. You have to acquire a space.
It's a small shop, and I was selling textiles, thread, needles, or some materials for sewing machines.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. The things to need for sewing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I'm talking about. I want to get at what we need to actually do. Maybe introduce some more vocabulary and phrases about what we have to do when we set up a business. You have to kind of organize your finances. You have to get a business permit. You have to procure a space. Procure, a fancy word for get. You have to get your inventory, right, Heidi?
Mm-hmm.
Start by, you need your inventory, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay. Besides the actual physical setup, now when you set up the shelves and you put things on the shelves, we use that in a more physical way. You're setting something up. You're setting up your store, for example, in a retail shop.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when we say, and what I wanted to get at, when we say setting up a business, we're not just talking about the physical putting things on the shelves. We're talking about all the details that go into it. Okay. Anyway, Anna, continuing in 1991.
Yes, yes, teacher. In 1991, I went into partnership with my old friend James in Britain.
Great for James. Okay, go into partnership.
Sorry.
No problem. Okay, past tense instead of go went, but went into partnership. Is there another way to say that? Do you think?
I don't know, teacher. No, because I don't manage with business this kind of word very well.
Okay. Okay. Well, then I'll help you out. They went into a partnership. They started a partnership. You can simply use started, began a partnership. Any of those would be equally valid and equally strong collocations. A more, I guess, informal one that we use possibly for business, but possibly for things like playing tennis. You know, Anna, have you ever played doubles tennis?
Well, a little back when I was a child in the beach.
Okay, well, all right.
In summer.
Okay, well, you might partner up. You might partner up with somebody to play mixed doubles tennis, for example.
Yes.
All right.
How about cooperation?
Sorry, Heidi. Again,
How
please.
about cooperation?
Okay. Well, that's a little okay. That's a good question because we kind of we don't go into a corporation. We don't start a corporation. We form a corporation or form a cooperative. Either way. So that's a very good question. We use a different. We use a different verb, collocated, with the object noun. So thank you. That's a good question. You don't really go into a corporation. You form a corporation, or you can form a cooperative, which is a good question. Well, let me go over to Yaroslav and hit you with that question before you read. What is the difference between a corporation and a cooperative?
I think corporation is the global thing. For example, IBM Corporation, Apple Corporation, and maybe cooperative. It's not such formal, maybe business partnership, but more like guys on the same idea and so on.
Well, both of these terminologies have the idea that many people own the company. But a cooperative, the people who work there actually own the company.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So, you know, if you have an organic food shop, all the workers and the person that does the books, everyone has a share in the business. And a corporation, of course, sells shares, like, you know, in the stock market and such. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, cooperatives are kind of a rare bird. But they're an interesting business model. But okay, Yaroslav, can you read this next sentence till the end of the paragraph? Actually, the next two sentences.
We made a loss for the first 2 years, but then things got better, and we've made a profit most years ever since. But there have been bad times too.
Okay, now I know English is crazy, and this seems counterintuitive, and it logically doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But this is the collocation. You make a loss. Of course, we use the verb make to. You probably already know. Make money, make a profit. Okay, make a salary. All right, this is very common. Make with money. But what you may not know is we actually use this. This is okay. This is the collocation normally used in business talk to express the idea that you made. We even sometimes say we made a negative profit. I don't know. Trying to avoid negative terminology. I don't know why, but there it is. This is actually a very strong collocation. We made a loss. Okay. Make a profit. Is there, Yaroslav, is there any other way to say made a profit? Or any other collocation, any other verbs with?
Lucrative.
You know, well, lucrative is an adjective, and it describes the idea that you can make a lot of money. It's a lucrative business. There's a lot of money to be made. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Related, but not exactly the same thing. Okay. Gained? Oh, yeah. Well, okay. We certainly talk about profit and loss, gains and losses. That's true. But you got to be careful with that one, Heidi, because we use gains and losses sometimes to talk about other factors, not just money. So we can say we had gains in our market in the 15 to 21-year-old market segment. All right. So they gained a percentage of that market. So we throw around gains and lost. We lost a 10% market share in New Zealand. We throw around this term to talk about other things as well. But yes, it can be used to be talking about profit and loss. Absolutely. These other things. Enhance. Well, no. We don't really say we enhanced a profit. I don't know about advantage, or we don't talk about advantage or benefit equaling profit. Augment is to help something. So, although it's possible to say the sales of the new product augmented our overall profit, it's possible to use it in conjunction. It's not really a strong collocation. What I was kind of thinking of, guys, was a strong collocation that is used very commonly, and that is turn a profit. We turned a profit in the first year. It took 2 years for us to turn a profit. This is very common. However, please note, we don't say we turned a loss. We just don't say it. I don't know why. It's always used in conjunction with, co-located with a profit. Not sure why. Also, okay, let me move on. Sasha, well, since we're talking about profits and losses and all that, what am I talking about? Here's another phrase. What am I talking about when I talk about the bottom line? Kind of idiomatic.
Bottom line.
The bottom
like,
line.
When I don't know what it means in business, but when you say it, the bottom line is like the gist, the main.
The summary.
The summary.
The gist. Yeah, okay. Very good. So it's very much the same when you're talking about profit and loss. The summary, the grand total of all your expenditures, the money you spend, and your income. So subtract the expenditures from the income, and hopefully the bottom line will be a profit. The summation. What the bottom line is, how you come out in the end. With all the pluses and minuses, when you add it all up, you end up with the bottom line. This is also a very common phrase. And since we're here and talking about it, and I'm thinking about it, Sasha, and since I'm talking to you, what is the difference between in the black and in the red?
In the red, as I remember, I think when you made a loss, and the black and made a profit.
Very good. You're exactly correct. So it would be very normal to say something like, my company turned a profit in the first year. The bottom line is we made $100,000 in the black. Like that. This would be a very normal way of speaking. Okay, before I move on, a quick shout out and hello to Ayara. Hello.
Hi, teacher.
Hi. How are you today?
Good, thanks.
Good. Glad to hear it. Glad you could join us. Okay, let's move on. I'll have you read a little, Sasha. Again, I get to be the interviewer because I say so. In what way? Okay, Sasha.
Okay. Well, during the economic recession of the early 1990s, a lot of small businesses were going under, and I thought our business would fold, but we survived.
Okay, awesome. All right, these are very related. Two phrases are related. What are we talking about here, Sasha? The businesses were going under or folding. Pretty much the same meaning.
It made a loss. It is going in red.
Even stronger. If it's past tense, the business went under or the business folded. Okay, that means whoop, close the doors, failed, done, over and out. That's right, Yaroslav. They're toast. They're over. They close the doors. They're done. Okay, not what you want to happen in business. Okay, Van. Read the next line from all around us.
Okay. All around us, small firms were going bankrupt.
Whoop, whoop. Okay, bankrupt. Do you know what happens when a business goes bankrupt?
So the business is going to fail and they will lose all the money.
Yeah. Do you know what really happens?
Yeah, maybe the firm will be taken over by other firms, or maybe they will stop doing business.
Well, if a firm takes them over, or there's a merger, two firms come together to grow, to make a bigger company, that's a merger, to merge, you know. merge two things come together, then you probably won't have to go bankrupt. If another big company buys you out, you don't need to go bankrupt. Okay.
Yeah.
I know that you guys, we're all from different companies. Bankruptcy laws differ from country to country. But in the United States, I had the unfortunate experience of working for a company that went bankrupt. So I know all about it. Being a worker who wasn't paid for like 8 weeks. So I can bitterly tell you my story. Okay, what happens is they have no money. So they can't pay their bills, they can't pay for inventory, they can't pay electricity, they can't pay their rent, they can't pay the employees. They can't pay their taxes. What happens is they file bankruptcy to protect themselves. The court then seizes the property. They sell anything that's worth selling. They seize the bank account of the company. They take it. Seize. They take it. Then all the creditors, the people who are owed money, whatever's left, whatever money they get for selling the property, selling the equipment, selling inventory, seizing the bank assets, the bank accounts, then gets paid out to the creditors. However, here's the fun part. In America, he said bitterly, guess who gets their money first?
I think stakeholders.
Stakeholders?
No.
Well, shareholders they lose everything instantly.
No, I mean there are some people like
Yeah.
referential. I don't know. Reference. I don't know. There
Yes,
is one kind of shareholder. They got the money. They get the money first.
Okay, that is true. If you're in a corporation where you sell shares, the shareholders would definitely get their money first. That is correct. Although that almost never happens. A company that has shareholders generally, it's better for the company to just sell the company worth 10 million, sell it for 1 million to another company, and then give your shareholders the money. The shareholders just, their shares fold into the new company. So a shareholder company rarely folds.
Before a shareholder, that bank came to that company.
Yeah, well, that's
almost
right.
all company has a debt from bank.
You're absolutely right.
They put mortgage. At first, bank has taken away their some property or something. Mortgage.
You're right. First is the bank, but before the bank, Heidi,
Mm-hmm.
who do you think? Anybody? Guess. Who gets the money first? Before
Bank.
anybody. No, not the bank. Of course, the government gets all the taxes first. Don't kid yourselves. Of course, the politicians get their money first.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course they do. And who's next important? The bank gets their money, then the shareholders,
Mm-hmm.
then the basically municipal companies like gas, water, electric, then the creditors who provide inventory and supplies and such. Then who is the last on the list, Van?
The last on the list. Oh yeah, the employees.
You got it, Van. That is right. So in America, when a company goes bankrupt, virtually every time the employees get zero because there's no money left. So in America, if you think your company may be going bankrupt, you need to quit today because the chances are you are working for nothing. So if you have a strong suspicion, run for your lives. Because you're just wasting time. You're just going into your own personal debt. And you will end up bankrupt. Personally bankrupt. Yeah, it's a horrible thing, Aaron. It's not pretty. I know what I'm talking about because I lived through it. And to be blunt and rude, excuse my language, it sucked. was not fun at all. And we fought and we fought and we fought and we got nothing. We wasted so much time, hired lawyers, everything. Nothing. Oh well, there it is. That's the system. The system is always rigged. Okay, let's continue. And furthermore, you know what's funny is 7 years later, the same guy who went bankrupt in this company I described, after 7 years, your record is clean again. He went and got another ridiculously huge bank loan and started another business. So he never had to pay his employees for work. He never had to settle with his employees. Amazing. Okay, anyway. Heidi, back to you. But
in 1994, we won a contract despite stiff competition to supply the local government office. And that was an important moment for us.
okay. Okay, they won a contract. What does that mean? What would that entail?
Maybe some competition to some big companies about outsourcing or something. Getting some outsourcing from other companies. You know?
Well, okay. All right, that may be a kind of complicated way to look at it. Maybe let's imagine that this is a building company, and they build bridges. So, for example, the government always they got to build a bridge. They put it they put it out. They allow people to make bids, or they give estimates how much it will cost to build the bridge. Whatever, say 6 different companies. We'll do it for $1 million. We'll do it for $1.2 million. We'll do it for $1.5 million. Whatever. So, okay. So they put this this job or whatever. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not government. Maybe it's a shoe company that wants an advertising agency. So they'll court. Yes, court. You can court your boyfriend or girlfriend, but you can court different companies and see who's going to give you the best deal or who has some good ideas. You look at 3 different advertising agencies. You choose one. They win the contract. You sign a contract with that advertising company. In the case of the government, one construction company, building company gets the contract from the government. Okay. And so this kind of bidding or competing happens all the time in business. All right. So, all right, they won the contract, whatever it was. Great. Whatever. Could be to supply bread to a certain supermarket. Who knows? Okay, let's move on. Anna? Oh,
Yeah,
no,
yes.
I'm sorry. I skipped Ayara totally. Let me come back to you in a second.
Okay.
Ayara, I'm sorry.
Okay. We took on a staff and expanded it. And we were proud that we had created the jobs for local people at a time when unemployment was high.
Okay, stop there. Okay, wait a minute. Took on staff. What does that mean?
Took on a staff and expanded it. I don't know.
Okay. Took on staff. Another way to say that, we hired people.
Okay.
Okay. Hired employees. Thank you, Yaroslav. You're probably much more used to that. Obviously, that's a very common collocation. We hired employees and expanded. Okay. We often are prone to use this collocation. We took on staff when it means your business is going along, and then as this interview is describing, suddenly you had an increase in business, so you had to hire a bunch of new people. So all businesses are always hiring employees, hiring and training. It's a never-ending cycle, but we often use this collocation when you need to hire a lot of people all at once.
Mm-hmm.
we needed to take on staff. Okay. We were proud that we had created jobs. Well, all right, create jobs, job creation. Sure. Politicians love to talk about job creation. Politicians and economists love to talk about job creation and creating jobs. Two very strong collocations for them. What now? I want to, since we're here. Okay, no, I'm going to hold off for just a minute until this next section. Okay, Anna, now if you would like to read, please.
Yes, our sales figures improved steadily, and soon we had an annual turnover of more than 10 million pounds.
Yeah, well, be careful there, Anna. 10 million pounds. The plural is always on the...
Yeah, okay, 10 million pounds.
Okay. Our sales figures. All right. What are they talking about? Sales figures.
I think is the amount of profits that a business earned on 1 year, for example.
No.
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 Sales figures. Figures, of course, is in English. Figures can equal numbers. Figures. One definition of the word figures is numbers. Okay. So
Yes.
Sales numbers. All right. You're talking about the money from sales. So here you're talking about gross money coming in, or the gross, all the money coming in. However, don't confuse gross sales, money coming in, total sales, with profit, because, of course, you have expenditures. So you want to really look at net sales. That would be your profit, because your sales figures, just because your sales figures improve doesn't mean you make a profit. If, for example, you make shoes, if the cost of your supplies that you need to make shoes goes up sharply, then even though your sales go up, you could still end up losing money. Okay?
Okay.
So if your expenditures, for whatever reason, any expenditures go up, doesn't necessarily mean that you're making money. So don't confuse just sales figures with profit. Two different things.
Yes, in this case is the money that consumer spends in anything, in many things.
Yeah, the company. How much money the company got from customers? That's it. That's it. Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Okay. We need to talk about this next phrase. An annual turnover. Okay. I'm just going to say soon we had an annual turnover of more than 10 million pounds. Now we can look at profit, Anna. Okay. But very important, depends on who you're talking to. This is very confusing, so it's worth making a special note in your head if you're involved in business, because Brits and Australians use this word turnover to refer to profit. However, Americans do not. For Americans, it is a completely different thing related to business. For an American, my turnover in my company refers to how many employees I lose and I have to hire and train. So as an American, if I say, oh, our turnover is way too high, what I'm talking about, obviously I'm not talking about profit. What company would say their profit's way too high? What I'm talking about is we're losing too many employees and we're having to spend, again, expenditures, we're having to spend way too much money training new employees. So some types of business have a really high turnover, and we collocate Americans, again, collocate high turnover low turnover, meaning you lose a lot of employees if you have a high turnover. If you have a low turnover, you hire someone, they never quit. Like that.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
So,
Thank you.
very important to understand that. Okay, my turn again. Interviewer. So what's the secret of your success? Okay, very cliche. All right. Does anybody know what I mean? Anybody? When I say that's very cliche.
It's like a common line that a lot of people use.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
It's covered a lot.
It's overused. It's so overused that it's boring, or that it doesn't even mean anything anymore. It's very cliche. That's what everybody says. Like the other day, I don't know, we were talking about sports. It's very cliche for an athlete to say, I feel really good and I think I have a good chance of winning the match. Well, who cares? Every single one of them say that. So, cliche is something when somebody says it, it's like, yeah, so what? That's what is expected for you to say. Okay, let's continue. Yaroslav. Okay.
Okay. Well, we are quite cautious. For instance, we always carry out market research before launching a new product.
Yeah. Okay. Yaroslav, cautious.
Cautious.
Yeah, that's better. All right. Okay. Well, here's a strong collocation. All right. You carry out market research. Okay, Yaroslav, what is market research? First of all.
Market research, I think it's searching for new opportunities, analyzing the competitions, maybe another companies in your field, in your business field.
Very good.
Business plan of the company and so on.
Yeah, that you have to check out your competition, and you have to analyze demographics, potential customers. You're trying to figure out who your potential customers are, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's market research. Okay, now there's a very strong collocation here with this phrasal verb, carry out market research. You can carry out a plan. Okay, you can carry out a marketing campaign. All right. Very simply, what's the simple verb we can use instead of carry out?
Always use. Maybe.
How about do? We always do market.
Yeah.
It's so simple. It's too simple. Okay, do. You can do a market campaign, do a market research. Yeah, all right. Another strong collocation in the sentence, of course, launch a new product. English speakers always use this. In fact, as a noun, a product launch. Or you want to use the verb form, launch a new product. It's a very strong collocation, and we almost never... Okay, obviously there's other ways to say it. We introduced a new product. Okay, I'm sure there are other ways, but this is really, really a strong collocation here. Okay, continuing. Sasha.
But but also we set a high value on customer service, especially after sales service.
All right. Well, this first phrase, in my opinion, again, cliche. Every company says, we set a high value on blah, 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 blah. Okay, great. Very cliche, very, very common and ordinary. Okay, we set a high value on, really? Really, on should be a part of this phrase. You set a high value on something. Often, customer service. Okay, well, okay, we set a high value on it. We think it's very important. Fine. Very standard and cliche. Customer service, I think we're all familiar with that. Okay, how the service end of when you have a product. What, Sasha, what does after sales service refer to?
After sales, maybe sort of guarantee.
Often, yeah. Guarantee and warranty. Sure. Technological products include online support, tech support, phone support. Yeah.
What
all
is
that
the
kind of cool
difference between guarantee and warranty?
Oh my gosh, I knew you were going to ask that. No, I get very confused myself. Okay. I thought of it before class, and I looked it up when I created the class, but then I forgot. I always forget this, quite honestly. All right, hang on. I have it right here.
No, it's
No,
okay.
you did.
Don't worry, teacher.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, guarantee. All right, here it is. Okay. Guarantee, a formal assurance that conditions will be fulfilled, especially that a product will be of a specified quality. Okay. A formal, even sometimes written assurance that every part of this, whatever it is, will work. For example, in other words, here it is. Everything works. If it doesn't work, we'll replace the part or we'll fix it after you bring it home. Okay, that's a guarantee. Or maybe a guarantee for like food. We guarantee, okay, this is a quality product. It's healthy. Blah blah blah. Okay, pizza delivery service. We guarantee you will get your pizza in 30 minutes, or your pizza will be free. That's a guarantee. Okay, a warranty is a written guarantee promising to repair or replace an article if necessary within a specific period of time. So there you go. So they're very similar, which is why they're basically a warranty is a written guarantee.
Yes. Now I got that. I asked because we have in Russia for both one word guarantee for
That makes
both
sense.
cases. That's why I asked. I was a little confused.
Yeah, well, it's easily confusable because they both really mean the same thing. However, you can have guarantee, like the pizza companies that say, we'll deliver your pizza in 30 minutes, or you get a free pizza. Well, that they're not writing you a contract. A warranty is actually like a written contract. So that's the difference. Okay. Moving on. Van.
Yes, but at the end of the day, running a successful business is a combination of hard work, luck, and intuition.
First I want to look at this introductory phrase, this signal phrase here, because it's a little bit unusual. Don't know if you've seen it before. Van.
Yeah.
What does this mean? But at the end of the day.
I think it means at first.
No, it's the opposite.
Oh. Oh yeah, sorry. At the end of the day, I mean finally
finally.
Yeah, the end result. Yeah.
Okay, the gist, the important parts is the summary at the end. What's most important? Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay, and of course the very, very strong collocation. You run a business. This is really, really common. Okay. Yeah. All right. Just a very common verb object now collocation. I don't know what else to say about that. That's just really common.
Operate a business.
Operate a business. Operate. Okay, more formally, operating a successful business is yeah. Okay. That would work as well. Very good. Thanks. Okay, my turn. Interviewer. Finally, there are rumors that you may float the company on the stock market. That does not mean they're throwing the company in a rubber raft. Actually, it gives the definition here. Okay, they are going to start selling shares, basically. Well, it's the same as the next one. At the moment, we had no intention of going public. Same thing. Float the company, going public. All right. When you hear about an initial offering, that's on a business that's just for the first time selling stock. Okay. So usually we use these, or we're thinking of going public or float the company. These are used when a company is not yet in the stock market. They're not yet selling public stocks, or they're not trading yet. Yeah, Heidi, exactly. An IPO. Yeah, there it is. Initial public offering, IPO. Yes, there's the acronym. I forgot the public. Absolutely. So when they're actually there doing it, we talk about the IPO. When they're considering it, we often are about to do it. You will hear, I don't know, financial commentators on television and such talking about they're considering floating the company. Once they've decided to do it, then those financial commentators all start saying, oh, the IPO will be on July 3rd. The initial offering looks like it's going to be $17 per share, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Okay, and more. Moving on. Ayara, can you read the first sentence here?
Okay. Owing to the economic crisis, many small firms ceased trading.
Ceased trading.
Ceased trading.
Trading, yeah, okay. Close their businesses. Now, this is a little weird. Obviously, you would only say this about, this is a little odd for me. Maybe Brits, there may be, I'm not sure, there may be a difference between British and American, which I couldn't figure out before class, honestly. Americans, if you cease trading, that means obviously you're a publicly traded company. And so there's a little, for me, this doesn't make sense. Small firms are rarely open on the stock market, publicly traded. So there's a little bit of an oxymoron for me as an American. But perhaps British use this term to talk about any company that's folding or going out of business. I'm really not sure. I couldn't figure that one out myself. Okay. Heidi. Aha.
There's a cutthroat competition in the music industry these days.
Oh, okay.
Competition.
Yeah, all right. Cutthroat. Things are getting cut. You might hear things like things are getting cutthroat in the market right now. Yeah, that would be. I've definitely heard that exact sentence many times before. Okay, when economic pressures get very, very tight. There's another collocation. For business, when things get, we often talk about things getting tight. The market is tight, or the economic climate is tight. Supplies are tight. It's hard for us to get supplies to make our product. They're tight. So, okay, shrinking, getting smaller, it's getting more difficult. Very much associated, perhaps, with cutthroat.
Yeah, now people don't have any CD or CD players anymore.
Yeah, well, I don't know if there's any. Well, does anybody make them? I guess that would be a. I don't know if there's any competition because there's no market. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, Heidi, can you? Oh, you just read that one. I'm sorry. Anna. Okay.
Yes. Market forces have caused many factories to close as businesses move overseas. Forces not influenced by government that decide price levels in an economy. Yes.
Yeah. Well, this is very abstract and ethereal because the economy, oh, well, you know. Okay, what does market forces mean? Okay, supposedly supply and demand.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, but
Maybe the economy process of a business, the difference between supply and demand.
yeah, perhaps it has to do with everything's so interconnected in the economy. Perhaps it has to do with the availability of employees or qualified employees. Perhaps it has to do with cheaper labor in another country. There's so many factors, and it's really hard to take government out of the equation because, okay, government doesn't fund education, so people don't have enough education to get a job in a high-tech industry. So then they say market forces have caused the company to move to an area where there are more educated people to use as employees. Well, okay, really, now this definition says it has nothing to do with the government, but it always has something to do with the government. Always. Yes. You know, everything influences everything else. The economy has kind of the butterfly effect. Do you know what that is, Anna?
Butterfly flutter? No, I don't know, but no.
Well, the idea that one thing affects another. So a butterfly flaps its wings in Tokyo, and then that causes, through a chain of events, that causes a hurricane in Florida. That's the idea.
Domino effect.
Yeah, that's similar.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, one thing affecting another. Yeah, that's similar. Yeah, Yaroslav. Okay. Well, we already did this one. All right. Go ahead and read this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Our local dressmaker has gone out of business. People buy ready-made clothes these days.
Okay. Well, I'm glad I had you read it. Clothes. Okay.
Clothes.
Okay. All right. Clothes. Or native speakers often say close, just like close the door. We use a reduced pronunciation commonly. So feel free, because we all do. It's too hard to say the TH sound, so we just say a Z sound. Close. Okay. Gone out of business. Yeah, all right. I think we already talked about it. Go under, go out of business. Okay. Yeah. Fold. All of those collocations for stopping business. Yaroslav, in your country, do retail stores, have going out of business sales?
The stores with the clothes.
What? I don't care. Clothes, electronic equipment, shoes. I don't care. A muffin shop, whatever.
There is a trend that the huge companies, the global networks, are more dominant and more common now than small businesses, especially in food stores, clothes stores, and so on.
Okay, but my question is, do businesses where you live have going out of business sales? You know, as going out of business sale, buy today. We're going out of business, buy 50% off.
Okay. Yeah, it's not often, but sometimes you can see this advertisements or this kind of sales on the internet.
Okay, all
But
right,
actually, I saw only one this on the internet.
okay. This is a very normal practice in the United States, actually. It's very normal. In fact, I lived in New York City for a while, like in the early '80s, and the last time I was in New York City was some in I don't know 2004, 2000 no 2006, and you know what? The same company that started having a going out of business sale in 1980 was still having a going out of business sale in 2006. It was awesome. Uh, in other words, just a marketing ploy. Okay, they'd been in business for whatever, 25 years, going out of business continuously.
Marketing trick.
Yeah, it's a little marketing trick. Okay. All right, continuing. Sasha. Okay, can you go ahead and read the next two, actually, please? They're related.
Okay. Her clothes boutique is doing brisk business since the shopping center was renovated. Business is booming for internet-based travel companies as more people book travel online. Business is doing extremely well.
All right. A booming business. Okay, sometimes used as a verb. Okay. Uh, sometimes used as an adjective. He has a booming business in the real estate market. Okay, or a brisk business. Usually a business is booming refers to overall doing extremely well. We frequently use this strong collocation, a brisk business, to talk about like one day in the shop, the shoe shop. Oh, I don't know what's going on. We did a really brisk business today. It was nonstop all day. It never slowed down. But either way, busy. Uh, okay, Van, can you read the next one, please?
Yes, she resigned and went to work for a rival company.
All right, what are we talking about? A rival company.
That is the company of the company competitors.
And that's exactly right. We could also say she resigned and went to work for a competitor.
Yeah.
Both would be very common. Okay, great. Okay. Next one, Ayara.
I did a deal with the car salesman and got a 15% discount for cash.
Okay. You can do a deal, but that's fine. But I think strike a deal means you make a decision and the deal is done. Oh, we struck a deal. It refers to really the idea of actually shaking hands and it's done.
Okay.
You strike a deal with somebody. It doesn't necessarily, by the way, it doesn't necessarily mean you get 15% off or you get it doesn't mean it's a good deal. Okay? You can strike a deal. I struck a bad deal. Yeah, I'm sorry, I struck a bad deal. I wasted money. It doesn't necessarily mean good.
Hold on. Struck doesn't mean necessarily good, but did a deal implies
also, no, it's just very neutral.
Okay.
Okay, but what do you think it means if I say I got the short end of the stick on the deal?
I got the short.
The short end of the stick on the deal. I got the short end of the stick.
I think the good one, good deal.
No.
No, I don't know.
Other direction. That means you got a bad deal. It was not good. Yeah. Okay. Bye, Van. Thanks. In fact, we all got to go. So real quick, before we go, balance the budget. Okay. That means make sure that your income can cover your expenditures. You personally, in your own family, you have to balance your budget. Make sure you don't spend more than you make. Very simple. And earlier we were talking about, I already mentioned this one. You put in a bid for a contract when we were talking about winning a contract. In order to win a contract, you have to put in a bid, offer to do the work for a particular estimated amount of money. Okay, that's about all we have time for. So I hope you all learned some interesting and useful business phrases today. Thank you so much for your
Thank you.
participation.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Oakley.
Bye-bye.